Alrighty. It's been such a bad week. We got rained out today, but got a bit of another plan with boxthorn. I can spray it, yeah, sure, fine. There's another method that I'm going to use as well. Now, with the original stuff we pulled out, a lot of that was on the outer edges. It was packed tight, and you couldn't actually get to the trunk because the prickles would just go right to the ground. With some of these ones over the hill, I think it might have a bit to do with the angle of the hill itself. You can actually get to the trunks without a problem. And, you know, previously I cut some with a chainsaw, and then you would use straight glyphosate and paint that on the stump. And that would kill them. No problems. There's another method which I'm going to try, seeing that I can surprisingly get to 20%, probably, may even be more, maybe nearly 40% of the trunks of some of these. And that is, instead of cutting them with a chainsaw, because realistically you can probably only cut about 6 before you need to sharpen the chain again, but I used to cut 8 or 12 and then stretch the chain and overheat the bar and all that sort of thing. It's not realistic to do with a chainsaw, but there's a similar method I hope to use, whereby I get a couple of my cordless drills and a borer bit, also known as a spade, which you can bore a big hole, you know, up to 1 inch wide in there. This is not a hole saw where you've got to come right out the other side and then you pull out like a giant donut piece. This is a borer bit that will actually cut it as you're going in, and you got all this blooming sawdust crap pouring out. And I want to try and make like a little hole in there initially, and then use a long shank bit that I've bought, a normal drill bit, 4mm, but extremely long. It's, well, at least 6 inches long, to drill holes into that existing hole. So effectively it'd be almost like a spider. You got your little smaller holes that go down, and then you got your big large hole, and your big large hole feeds off to all the smaller holes. And your big large hole, you know, can act as a bit of a guide or cup or whatever, to allow the poison to go down into those smaller holes. And effectively, because you've drilled into the sapwood, you're going to get a similar surface area that you would have got by cutting it off with the chainsaw without wearing the chainsaw out so fast, and using drill bits which are far cheaper, easily replaced, and cordless drills which I've already got, to basically bore these holes in and then pour the poison into the holes. And yeah, I hope to be able to show me doing that and give you a bit of an idea of it, but I'll be doing that around Christmas. So we've only got a few more days left at work. I've basically got to go back on the Monday. We've got to go tomorrow, which is going to be Friday, and then the Monday. But I think on the Monday all we basically do is clean up, and they said take your tools home as well. And then on the Tuesday I've got to go to a bit of a barbecue thing with work, and also get the paperwork and stuff worked out for a scissor lift license. I don't even know where all that's going to be done, but I've got to go and ask the boss about that one. But yeah, I've been up on a scissor lift quite a bit recently on my own, and I've been up tall, very tall. Let's just put it like this: if I took Troy up, it would be the do one in your pants world. Yeah, if you'll see video in a second of what I mean. I've been up like stories in the air on one of these things. Now, they're all right when you're down low, but when you get up really tall, you know, each different bit that goes across in your scissor lift, well, there's a little bit of slack, and then you're right up high, and it's like being on a boat, and you walk around and the bloody thing is swaying and moving around. It's even better when you're up there with somebody who is trying to screw something in, and they go, like they're trying to push the damn screw in because it's a self-tapper and it's got to cut through steel or whatever, and as they're pushing like this, the bloody thing swings backwards. It's real good because once I went right up high with two other blokes, and you know, we drove over an inch worth of blooming cement sheeting with one wheel while the other wheels were on level ground, and then they started getting smart when they realised that I was a bit freaked out, and they started doing things like saying earthquake test and shaking this thing, and you're up bloody 2.5 stories in the air, and this thing's shaking like shit when they try to shake it, but I've been up at least 1.5 stories today, and probably nearly 2 stories yesterday. And I mean, the thing's just swimming around there, just back and forwards. And here I am picking off this stupid plastic off this damn sheeting, and I feel like saying, now, you know, it's what it basically is there. It's ridiculous design, this building. It's like your lunch huts or your ATCO huts, your portable site offices, that sort of panelling, that stupid so-called insulation that's, you know, sheet metal one side on the outer side, sheet metal on the inner side, and then polystyrene in the middle, and it always ends up being exceedingly hot in there, but somehow they refer to them as insulation panels. Anyway, they've basically decided to put that up inside this building. That's that sort of panelling. And so you don't scratch the paint. Well, that's the idea. They do scratch it anyway. But so it doesn't get scratched as bad, it's got this plastic layer on it. And they go and put it up, and then, well, they're taking it off now, but previously they weren't, and I've been running around taking off all the bits that they haven't taken off, and I've still got a bit more to do. Up reasonably high in 2 places, hopefully tomorrow. But yeah, anyway, yeah, it's all sort of works winding up and whatnot. And have a few days off and whatnot. Oh yeah, I also got approved for some of the government incentive funding too. And that's going to be automatically whacked in my account. So that's good. It's $660 every month, that one, and then there's another one that's about a similar amount, but we've still got to do paperwork for that because I've got to get the boss to sign that one. Yeah. Anyways, you're going to have a look at me on the scissor lift and new gate and a few other bits and pieces. How's it? I'm at the very ceiling of the building. These are the aircon and all that. The 3rd floor. My scissor is on the 2nd floor. And I'm above the 3rd floor roof height. Ceiling height. True roof above me here. I got this stuff on the cheap. It's getting there. It's used by date. It's actually apple and lime cordial. It's got a big thing on the front, 50% less sugar. But anyway, it was cheaper than usual. It was marked down. You can see the little orange sticker there. And I thought, oh, this will be aspartame or something like that. Well, you're not going to believe it, but this is stevia as well. I'm surprised, actually. Quite surprised that stevia seems to be getting more use than I suspected. So, yeah, I'll show you something else as well. Father done something for me here. These are like, oh, flipping wind. These are pool panels or something like that, and they come with this really, really crappy thin RHS. Much the same as this, but like way, way thinner. And I just ended up throwing those in scrap metal, but I ended up pulling all these panels out because you could sort of twang them in a bit, and they got little bits that hold it there, and you just sort of pull them in the middle, and they just sort of pop out. But yeah, Got this one here that I've just put in the side there, and I've had this other banger on here for a while to keep the sheep out. You'd actually be surprised, I had one standing right there the other morning when I come out to go to work, and its lamb, I think, was just near the wheelbarrow there, and it didn't know what to do, the old lamb. And actually the lamb was beside the bin here, and didn't know what way to run when it first saw me, but anyway, I got a proper little gate now, thanks to my father. Thanks for that, Dad. A bad little one. I wanted it to swing out this way, so that I could get the wheelbarrows in here, because during the winter, of course, I got a wheelbarrow here full of wood, I got another one here, and I got the old shopping trolley there, which I usually fill with wood. At the moment, I've just got a few tools and bits and pieces from having done fencing and the weed spray there. Oh yeah, looking pretty good actually.